Alright, this is a quick tutorial about how to get started with SPSS and then run a dependent samples or paired samples t-test. I'm going to show how to do it in SPSS and PSPP. So the first thing you have to do is download the software, and I already have it downloaded. And you can get PSPP for free. IBM SPSS is not free, so a bunch of different websites offer it, and they may have different requirements or different procedures for installing it. But once you have it installed, you should have an icon. If not, you can probably get it from the start menu. And we're going to start with SPSS. So double click it. And the first screen that you'll see is this loading screen. And then you'll get this dialog box in front of this data table behind it. And we're not going to go into the details of it. We're just going to show you basically how to get it in there. So the easiest way to do it, I've got all these previous data sets that I could open up. But if it's your first time, you probably shouldn't have anything there. What you're going to instead is do open another file or just hit new data set. We'll start with how to do open another file. So if you double click on that or click on that and hit OK, then it'll give you the opportunity to find your file. So I'm going to find the file that I'm going to open. And I'm going to open this one called IQ test. Okay, and then when I open it up, my data is right there. Now to do a paired samples t-test, you need to have two columns with two variables that are paired in some way. And I've got 30 samples of each. One is the score of an IQ test given to patients as they were exhibiting flu symptoms, and one is the score of an IQ test after they have completed flu symptoms. Okay, so they are paired because it's the same person. Now to actually run the test, it's actually quite easy. All you have to do is hit Analyze, Compare Means, and then go down to Paired Samples t-test. This box will then open and it'll have all your variables here. Now it's easy for us because we only have two variables. Some data sheets will have tons of variables and you have to pick the two that you want. These are the two we want to compare, but we need to put them over here into the paired variables box. So in order to do that, all you have to do is highlight your variable and then click this arrow and it moves it over. So now we have one variable in variable 1, and now we're going to the second variable, the one we want to compare it to, we want to also do the same thing with, and then it'll move that into variable 2. Now if you click on options here, by default it'll give you the 95% confidence interval. But you can change that if you want to. But we're just going to keep it at the default setting. Lastly, all you have to do is hit OK. What happens next is your output file is created from the statistical test that you ran. What you want to do here is just check and make sure that everything is on there that you need to be. So here we have the mean, the number of individuals, the standard deviation, standard error of the mean during and after. So individually, we have a correlations test, and then we have the actual t-test. Which gives us a different mean. This is the mean difference between the two, IQ before and IQ after. What we are probably mostly interested in is this 95% confidence interval and the t-statistic, degrees of freedom, and p-value or significance of the t-value. To save this, all you're going to do is hit File, Save As, and then it's going to save it as an SPV file. You name it whatever you're going to name it. We'll name it this, but we aren't going to have it as a PDF. HERT HS312 assignment 4. Save it wherever you want, and then click Save. And there you have it. Okay. Now, another way to do this, let's click it all the way out. If you open up SPSS, and again it'll give you the loading page and then this dialog box. You don't need to do this. You can just click X on it and then just go File, Open, Data, and again, find your file and open it up. There it is. Hit open. There's my data. Okay, so that's SPSS. PSPP is pretty similar, but it does look a little bit different. So it doesn't have the dialog box. In the beginning, you're just going to do file open. You could do import data as well, but file open is probably the easiest. And then you'll have to find where it is. I have it right there. It popped up right there, IQ test. But instead, if you can't find it, then you could go through documents, wherever you saved it. And then you click on it or double click on it, open it, and there it is. Same data. To do the test, it's also the same. Analyze, compare means, paired sample t-test. You have to move the variables over. IQ during is variable 1. You can move this over to see that variable 2 is empty until you click on IQ after and move it over there. Options, again, shows that you can change the confidence interval, but we're going to leave it at the default. And then click OK. Okay, now here the output does not automatically pop up. Instead, you have to actually go click on it. But you can see this is all the same as what was done in SPSS. And now what you need to do is save this data. Now, PSPP does not let you save the data in the same file type as SPSS. So what you want to do is you want to save it as a PDF. Save it in the file you want to, and then name it. And then it won't be the same type of file, but it will look just like this. So then if I want to open up that file, this is what it's going to look like. It's a PDF. Okay, and that's what you would save then for your assignment. Okay, so that's how you do SPSS or PSPP. If you have any questions, let me know.